Hi, so I'm Adrian Beckingham, the man from Story Mountain, here to share some ancient tales with you. All of these stories I've received permissions from the cultures they come from. That's very important that you recognise that. You're free to hear them, but not to tell them unless you've received permission from elders. This particular story I'm going to tell you now in a nutshell is a story which comes from some people you've never probably heard of before. They're called the Kwakiutl people. They are both Native Canadians and Native American people, in that the modern border of America and Canada goes right through their traditional territory. They tell a story about the beginning of the world, in which in the beginning everything was empty. There were no stars, no moon, no sun, no planets at all. Everything was a vast, enormous void. But there in the middle of that void floated one thing, and this one thing was an enormous bird, Kwakiutl, the raven. Kwakiutl had always been. Kwakiutl would never live, never die, but simply be. Kwakiutl, who simply is, had floated endlessly in the stillness. Feathers as bright as the sun, every colour upon those feathers, upon that great raven bird. This went on forever. For so long, it seemed to have no end. But the Kwakiutl people of Canada and America will tell you, always change will come, to turn an old forever into something brand new. And the very first change came when that mighty rainbow-coloured raven began to flap its wings. Kwakiutl he, Kwakiutl she, the Kwakiutl never really born, always there, had all of life within her, within him. Kwakiutl began to flap her wings, and as she did so, enormous winds came rolling and tumbling out from below her wing beats. Winds that crashed, winds that rolled, winds that danced together, and from the rolling of the winds below Kwakiutl, the mighty raven's wings, from the dancing winds, from the raven's wings, our world was formed. All worlds were formed from the winds below that mighty raven's wings, when first he beat them and formed the worlds. Kwakiutl he, Kwakiutl she, the mighty raven outside and inside all of life, went flying from one world to the next, until finally she came to our world, the earth. It did not look like the world it looks today. Kwakiutl flew all the way around that twilight sky, twilight silver grey. No sun, not yet, no moon, not yet, no day, no night. Always twilight silver. Kwakiutl, the raven, flew all the way across our sky, looking down upon our earth, and she found just three things: trees, stone, and water. Yet all the water was salt water, fresh water nowhere to be found. The stone formed mighty mountains and fields and stony beaches. And the trees were all one kind of tree, all of them elderberry tree. Sacred to the Kwakiutl people, these elderberry trees giving elderberry fruit and elderberry juices. But these first of all trees were not strong like the trees are today. Why, you could have walked up to one of them, pushed their trunk on your own with your human arm, and that tree would have fallen right over. The first trees, they were frail. Well, Raven, she perched herself down upon the branch of one of those elderberry trees. This was Raven, who flapped his wings and made the wind that made the world. He had plenty of time for change. He waited so long that you would lose your hair and lose your skin, your bones would bleach white into the forest floor. And still Raven, she just sat there waiting for change to come. And finally the first change, it came. Right there on the tree, right beside where Raven was sat, something was pushing, something was squirming underneath the bark slowly pushing outward from the tree's branch, the tree's trunk, and Raven saw the tip of a human nose, this tree. That tree there, the tips of human fingers. That tree there, the edge of a human elbow pushing up and out from the bark. Kwakiutl, the raven, who'd flapped his wings to make the wind that made the world, watched as the first people were born. Slowly crawling from below the bark of the trees came the first of the people. Leaves instead of hair, bark instead of skin. The first of all the people were elderberry people, people born of trees. This the Kwakiutl people know. Their story goes on and gives you wisdom, which will teach you how to make your wishes always work. Yet that's another story.